happy holiday Monday to you all. Tonight is German pancakes for dinner. Super excited to do this one. I had a couple people request some breakfast ideas for dinner, some of their faves. So we have literally about 15 minutes to get this made and in the oven so that I can leave and the kids can leave by about 5:30-ish. So this is a really quick dinner. You're gonna absolutely love it. All right, so some things that you're gonna need to get out ahead of time. 2 8-inch round glass Pyrex. That's kind of the key to these. They're kind of hard to find. So if you can't find them, you can use a 9x12 glass Pyrex, but not, I mean, if that's your alternative instead of the round, that's totally fine. That's a good option. These are ideal. Those are okay, if that makes sense. So that's what we're gonna start with. I already have my oven going at 440. It's actually gonna be at 425. My oven's off a hair with a temperature. So if they don't turn out, this is actually how I found out my oven is off with the temperature wise. So anyway, we are super busy tonight. Jack's got tournament, and then we've got Spiva basketball, so we have cheer. And then, yeah, we get to participate in that. So we're gonna make a quick dinner. This one's really easy. I should be off of here in about 15 minutes or less. So here we go. There's your Pyrex. No cheersing tonight because we're so busy. I'm not staying home. So just cheers with water. It's gonna be a good night. Okay, so we're gonna first start off, and there's kind of a method to the madness. I will tell you, my mom just had to help me because sometimes when I make these, they don't always turn out. They don't raise like they're supposed to. German apple pancakes are phenomenal. They should, if they work out well, they get big and fluffy and almost come up to the sides of the bowl. So they'll get really fluffy. It's awesome. And then you're gonna fill it with the filling. So anyway, I'll show you what that looks like. If they don't turn out, they come out like almost like a cake. They're still edible. My kids will still eat them, but not near as good. Kind of cardboardish, but they still are tasty. So here's the method. We're gonna start with those, the oven is preheated. We're gonna start with our 2 round 8-inch Pyrex pans. And I took some cold butter, and we're gonna put a tablespoon of butter in the bottom of them, okay? Of each one of them. This is the kicker. I mean, this is really important. I say that a lot, by the way. I was rewatching one of my videos. I say this, here's the kicker. I don't know if it's a kicker, it's just a tip. It's just actually part of the directions. A kicker, tip, whatever. A tablespoon in each of the Pyrex pans, okay? And my oven's already preheated, so I'm gonna wait just for a minute because you just want that to melt. We don't want it to burn, so it's gonna be a couple minutes, yeah. So we're gonna then go to a cup of milk. I have tried this with lactose-free. Now my mom just told me she did and it worked just fine. I thought maybe that was one of my problems. So I don't use lactose-free even though milk does not totally agree with me. You can try it again, but I'm not gonna do lactose-free. I'm gonna do at least 2% or more. Probably the heavier or the thicker the cream of the milk, the better they might be. So anyway, I just have to show you my cute little cups from my mother-in-law. I got these for Christmas. She was shopping local in Kearney. So Julie, if you're watching, you probably know where these are, or anybody in Kearney. Super cute little measuring cups. She thought of me when I was starting this and had to grab them. So here we go. 1 cup. Now, again, there's some method to the madness, so you have to be pretty exact with this recipe. So 1 cup of cold milk, and then we're gonna do 1 cup of flour. That is pretty important when we think about getting this to get fluffy. I was not ready today. I didn't have my spoons ready. So you're gonna do your milk and your flour first, and then we're gonna mix. I am also gonna add about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So this recipe I have memorized, but I just have the steps written down so I can refer to them. Okay, so to get exact, I also have already started some of my toppings. So I just sliced and peeled an apple and have that going in some water. Okay, so there's my milk. Then I'm putting my flour, okay? 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Did not get that out for us yet either. That just offsets it a hair. And then we're gonna mix that for 30 seconds. So you can listen to, just jam out for 30 seconds while I mix it. I'm not sure that I can do much talking during that point. So 30 seconds, we're gonna mix. As it's hot as over there. Your favorite thing. Okay, I'm gonna scrape for a second, and we're just about done. It's the first step here. Okay. Just want to get it so it's nice and looks like a cake batter almost. All right. Okay, so here's my first part. So it just is a creamy cake batter, you'll see. Now, one recipe calls for 6 eggs, and we did that for quite some time, and then Mom figured out if you do 3 eggs, it's perfect. So I'm gonna put my Pyrex pans in the oven, 425, it's hot. And you wanna catty corner them so it spaces out the heat, okay? We're gonna just let the butter melt. Again, we don't want it to burn, so you need to kind of watch it. My oven's already preheated. Here are my 3 eggs. So I always put them in a separate bowl. Make sure we don't get any of those nasty shells, right? Yeah, happy Monday. I worked today. Not everybody had to, so you probably got a little more time of reflection, but it was a good day. Okay, so there's my 3 eggs. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put it in here. I'm also gonna add just a dash of vanilla. In fact, let me do that now. Just probably like 1/8 of a teaspoon or 1/4. You know, this is optional. We just love vanilla, and this is from pure natural from Mexico. It's the best vanilla. So that's where we get our vanilla from. I'm just gonna put a little dash. We love it. Okay, 3 eggs going in. 1, 2, 3. Now on pretty medium to high pressure or speed, and then we'll do that for about 30 seconds, and I'll show you the consistency again. Again, these are German pancakes. Kids will love them. They die for them. Just until it gets a creamy mixture. I already put my salt in. And as we're baking, we're gonna put an orange glaze. We're gonna make that. Okay. So now what you're gonna do is just do your best guess, you know, just the perfect best guess. This is the mixture. I'm just going to take out my pans. We're gonna do your best guess of putting half in each of them. Okay. Oh yeah, oh gosh, like 30 more seconds with the butter, and I'm gonna show you what you're gonna do with the butter. This is also pretty important to the German pancakes, for them to get really nice and fluffy and come up to this side of your bowl. I think that was another thing that I learned from my mama that I was not previously doing to make it come up. So while we finish with that, I have sliced and peeled 1 apple, right? And just a little bit of water, because when it cooks down, you're gonna have more moisture anyway. So then I'm gonna add some cinnamon. We don't really need too much sugar because the sauce that we're gonna make is a butter orange sugar glaze sauce. It's amazing. So we're gonna make that. That takes like 2 seconds to whip up. Yep, okay, we're good to go now. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna take the butter. Okay, so take the butter, or the pan, the butter's in the bottom, right? And you're gonna basically spin it around. I should get both of my other ones. It'll be easier. My little mitts here. These are awesome. They're really grippy, sometimes almost too much, right? So you're gonna take the butter and all the way around your bowl, up on the edge. That's important, okay? Because that will allow the egg mixture to come up. And so make sure the bottom's covered and go all the way around the edges if you can. Okay, and I kind of gotta hurry because you know what butter does when it gets cold. Okay, and the other one, again, you can do this with a Pyrex, a 9x13. If you don't have 2 rounds, they're pretty hard to come by. last we looked, I think they were $25 on eBay. So they are a pretty, if you find some ever, snag them. I will just tell you that. Okay, you can find them at garage sales sometimes. Sometimes at thrift stores. You can order them online, but I'm just saying they're kind of pricey for a pan that we use often, but not enough to spend 50 bucks on 2 of them. Okay, so I'm gonna take my mixture, and like I said, just measure. Here's how I measure. Same consistency, pour, and you just count, right? 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I did have a little helper that wanted to come on tonight, and he was kind of in a funk, so we just decided that maybe since we're in a hurry tonight that Mom's just gonna do it, so he might be back later. We'll see. This one's kind of hard too. We're kind of in a hurry, and there's not much for him to do other than use the mixer, which might have been kind of humorous. We'll see. So if one is a little fluffier than the other, you just know that you've measured a little bit different, which is fine. They're gonna come out similar, but the key would be you don't want one to have extremely a different amount because the cooking times will change, right? So, okay, woohoo, that is it. That's all you do. Simple, simple. Like this is the best meal ever. The pan's a hair hot, so I'm just gonna show you. It's probably about, yep, just like that. You're gonna put it in, okay? And then I can't wait to show you. So, $4.25 to start. You might even need to kick it up a hair I don't know if your temperature of your oven is correct, so you need to make sure that is. So I'm gonna put it on for 17 minutes, my timer, and then we'll check. I would even check probably halfway from there just to see what the heat looks like. If it's like kind of a dark brown, obviously turning dark brown halfway through, you need to turn your heat down a hair. But I'm so excited for you to taste these. They're scrumptious. Okay, on to the sauce. This will take no time at all, especially since we took 1 apple, peeled it, sliced it, put like a couple tablespoons, maybe 3 to 4 tablespoons of water in the bottom. So my apple's pretty much done. I did not add cinnamon yet. I'm gonna do so to your liking. If you wanna add some sugar, you can, but I'm telling you the orange mixture that we're gonna make is plenty sugary. You won't miss the sweets. So that's that. And then I'm gonna add about a cup to a cup and a half, and I already have that measured out. Look how fancy I am. Nice and spilling over. This is a cup measurement of applesauce. I'm pouring in my apples. That's already sliced. You can just use apples. You don't have to use, applesauce. You don't have to use both, but we just like the mixture of the apple consistency in it. And then here's my other half a cup. So a cup and a half, 1 apple sliced, and probably a tablespoon of cinnamon. Yum. Yummy, yummy. Okay, mixing that, I'm gonna turn that on low. Again, the apples are already done, so that's gonna be on low and just sit. Okay, next up, and I need to clean up my mess, is the orange mixture. So, we are going to take orange concentrate, not orange juice, not an orange concentrate. And that's already out. And so it's just like your juice, right? A juice can. We used to make that. I don't know if you did that when you were growing up or in childhood, where you made juice with this and then you put it in a canister and then they had a handle at the top, go up and down when you add the water. Oh, the fond memories. We don't do that anymore, do we? Okay, I'm gonna wipe off my burner because it was wet. All right, in your pan, you're gonna start with a 1/3 of a cup. Actually, we're gonna do, you can either do, a 1/2 of a cup or a 1/4 of a cup of sugar. And then we're also gonna put in a 1/2 a cup of butter. So I'm gonna start with my butter and melt that. So yep, you can see why it's good. It's a whole stick of butter. So we are doing good. So you can make this. See, we only have 14 minutes left, and hopefully I can show you what it looks like. If not, I will post a picture what the pancakes look like. It's one of my kids' favorites. And I got a request for Parmesan, chicken Parmesan. So that will be coming your way very soon. Here's my whisk. I have on the menu also this week is fish tacos. I might do some shifting around. I have a couple nights that I think I might have overdone it to video, so we'll see. So here's my butter. And then we're gonna do a half a cup of sugar, okay? Now, half a cup is pretty sweet. So if you want it a little more orangey than the really heavy caramely sweet, just do 1/4 of a cup. And I'm just gonna do 1/4 because we don't need the extra sugar, like at all. In fact, I will probably drizzle the top with this, and then sometimes I shake powdered sugar on top, so by far will not need it. You can tell that we like to have that with our breakfast because they leave the tablespoon in here. So again, my butter is melting, whole stick, whoop whoop. And then I have 1/4 cup of sugar. Look how adorable these are. Who doesn't love a good little cup, measuring cup? Okay, mixing that. Come on, but remember, you don't want to burn butter. Not a good taste at all. Okay, whisking that around. I'm gonna check on my, oh yeah, they're getting big. So, orange sauce, apples, applesauce, and then what we're gonna do, when you get your, oh perfect, it's cooking really nice. When you get your pancakes done, you're gonna put a plate on the top of it, and I'll show you what we're gonna do. You're gonna fill it with the goodies, the apples. Sometimes you can do like any type of jam. You could do really whatever fruit you want and thicken it. We like apples with no sugar. Add cinnamon, and then applesauce that has no sugar. So unsweetened. There's plenty of sweetness in this. So this is a butter caramel orange sauce. 1 stick of butter is melted. I'm gonna add in now my 1/4 cup of sugar. Again, if you want a little more sweet, you can add that 1/2 cup instead. I'm gonna melt that. I'm gonna do a dash of salt. Offset that a hair. And then I'm gonna do my 1/3 of a cup to a 1/2 cup of your orange concentrate. Remember, not juice. I'm gonna start with, you know what, I like mine a little orangier, so I'm gonna probably do it right in between. I know that sounds silly, but right in between a 1/3 and a 1/2. Yum, yum. This is to die for sauce. Okay, this is mixing well. I'm gonna get that sugar nice and melted with the butter. I did already have an arm workout today, but I'm getting another one. This recipe you cannot find in Joanna Gaines' cookbooks. Just saying, this is Mama Nelson's cookbook that is going back into our families, right? So concentrates in. Let that come to just a slow simmer, and that's your sauce. Now, if you want it thickened, which you probably will, and that's what I'll do here in a bit, just add a little bit of your cornstarch. Put that at, I would say, like a tablespoon of cornstarch, maybe 2 tablespoons. I would start with a tablespoon, add a little bit of water, mix it with a fork with some cold water, just a little bit of water. So if you just pour the cornstarch directly in here, you'll have a lumpy hot mess. You might as well just start over. So we like the glaze as it is, as like a butter. I don't like super thick. If you want more like a jelly, syrup consistency, add some more cornstarch. Again, not super great for you. So try to stay true to, you know, the whole stick of butter is way better. Try to stay true to what is in the sauce versus trying to add any more. So there it is. Oh my, there you go. Just poured it all over. Sounds like my day. So there's your orange butter sauce. Let me see how my pancakes are. Oh yeah. So they are already up to the edges of the pan. They're just gonna keep coming up, and they'll tend to fold in a hair, possibly, but they come up really high. I'll post a picture for you in a minute. Then what I'm gonna do is take my applesauce and my apples, and so once in the pan, and then I'll put it in the inside of there, right? Then you fold it. So you're gonna take the round 8-inch, fold 4 ways. Take a plate. I'm gonna cover it. So then I'll take a plate and then I'll put it on the top and then flip it over. And then, so basically you have a folded pancake with applesauce and apples on the inside. Then you drizzle it with your orange sauce. To die for. Love it, love it. Cheers to your Monday. I hope this is a great recipe for you to use at any point. We love them on the weekends. We love them on a quick night that I have like literally 20 minutes and we gotta be out of here. We have bacon as well, is what I'm gonna add to it. You could do brown sugar bacon. Basically, you just take fresh bacon, roll it in a little bit of brown sugar, put it on a cookie sheet, and then I always put like a cookie. Just put it on one of these racks like this, and then put it on top of a cookie sheet and then bake it. You'll love that kind of bacon. You can also just throw some bacon in, which is what I'm doing tonight because we have plenty of sugar. And we're in a little bit of a hurry, so I don't have enough time to put it in the oven. Cheers! I hope you enjoy the German pancakes that I grew up on, and my mom loves, she's phenomenal at making them, and so I hope to pass this recipe on to you. Enjoy!